Hey, I wanted to live stream today to touch base and answer your questions. And the thing I use to live stream, the children have removed the stand and it's somewhere in this house. So I need to live stream. Hey, Maddie, I need to live stream holding the camera, which is hello, which is a little bit problematic. Yeah, today the children are home. The phone is going to shake because I'm holding it in my hand because the children have removed the top of the thing I need to use. But I wanted to just spend some time touching base with you and answering your questions. I know that some of you have had a really challenging time recently, and I wanted to say that I'm here for you and I'm sorry and good morning and I believe in you. White noise. White noise suits some people. It seems to suit males more than females. I only say that because men use it so often for study. But I think we all benefit from white noise. It's quite comforting to have that in the background. Thank you very much. Again, I remind you, my boys are out there, so anytime they could burst into the room and yeah, the rain's beautiful, isn't it? And interrupt our little, hello Debbie, I've missed you. Do I have children, Nikki? I have 4 children and I look after 2 more quite often. My sister has acquired brain injury and I assist her very clever, competent children at times. And it's, oh, I miss you, Debbie. I miss you so much. My time is just such a deficit. Hello, Maureen. It's beautiful outside at the moment. The sun is out. It's school holidays. I wanted to touch base with you and I'll show you. I use this to live stream and the kids have removed the thing that my phone goes onto. So, and none of them seem to know where it is, even though I found this in their bedroom. Oh, I'm so sorry, Debbie. Yeah, this is an issue that we're really faced with now, isn't it? Looking after our parents. Oh, so many messages. I thought we'd do a bit of a, I'd love to catch up, Debbie. I'd love to come over and see you. I thought we'd do a little bit of a Q&A. So I'm going to look at your messages, but they also draw my mind and then I'm not able to think about what I'm doing. So if you want to ask me a question, how old am I? How old do you think I am? I have, as you've noticed, stopped putting my age down because so many people ask me about it. And I think that as souls, we are ageless. Yes, I am definitely 25 years of age with 4 children. I'm not young. No, I'm over 35. Hello, 100 smiles. 35 is a great age. It's a really an age where a lot of exciting things occur. Nope, older than that. Thank you for, no, not that old. Thank you, Gryffindor. How do I come up with ideas for my meditations? I come up with ideas for my meditations from what is in my heart and sometimes letters. More and more, my meditations are a reflection of a voice in my heart rather than what I think is popular or what I think is going to work. As I age and as I develop, I create what my heart speaks to me. I like cats and dogs. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a think about a question you'd like to ask me. Hello. And you're welcome. and I will attempt to answer it. And as I do so, I'll ignore the other questions. A rainbow relaxation meditation. I'm not sure what that entails, but it sounds very interesting. Enjoy your lunch. What's my favorite video that I've done? I enjoy the comforting videos. I enjoy the videos on inclusion. I enjoy the videos on self-realization. Thank you. I found that meditation really helped me with my degree as well. Am I Buddhist? I believe in a lot of the Buddhist teachings, and I have gone through a Buddhist baptism. So I don't think they say the word baptism. I have gone through the initiation as a Buddhist. I'm also a Catholic, and I also believe in God. I think that there is a God, and I think that we all are part of that God, and we are like droplets in the ocean, and the ocean is the God, and we are one of the droplets. I think that we are all ultimately connected. I have a lot of friends who are Jewish, and as a Catholic, Catholics are taught to support the Jewish faith. Dana, I believe that we never die. I believe that our energy goes on forever, and I believe the more enlightened we are, the more aware we are of our beingness following our mortal ending. If we're talking about identifying, I identify as both a Buddhist and a Christian, and I think that that's okay to do so. I have done a number of videos on eating disorders, and I will do more. I think that we need more videos and learning on eating behaviors. I'd like to create a lot more, and because of things happening in my personal life, I haven't created as much as I would like to create. Hello! And I'm doing the best to get through that. But there are some personal things happening in the background, as we all have occur, don't we? And Maddie, I love you. And we just have to get through that, be resilient, and take one step at a time. My sister Jenny is doing fairly well. She has acquired brain injury, which she's given me permission to talk to you about. She had a stroke in 2012 and then thousands of seizures with the scar tissue. So she's sight impaired, hearing impaired, can't understand numbers, and is a little bit like Drew Barrymore on 50 First Dates. So I'm her carer, and I assist with her children. Her children are not young. They're 18 and 21. They're very competent, but things like sometimes paperwork and negotiating through issues I assist with. I am one of 6. One of us has passed on. So 6 of us. Videos, thank you. Yes. You're all thanking me for my videos. I wanted to say that the videos have helped me, and creating the videos helped me. I started this journey 9 years ago, and I was really sad. And at different stages over the 9 years, I have also been sad. I don't know if I'd give that a name. Suffered from anxiety and struggled to sleep. The videos have helped me, but the community has really been yes, I have 3 brothers. The community has been an absolute catalyst to helping me feel okay about myself in the moment since what occurred 9 years ago. Oh, look, thank you for enjoying my videos. I love what I do. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. That gives me so much help, and my children. And please follow me on Spotify, because I'm doing more and more on Spotify. Why you keep asking me how old I am? Why do you want to know that? How how old are you actually? Tell me, why do you want to know how old am I? I'm 110. Okay, you've asked me about videos for PTSD, and I'll just talk about that for a moment. I do videos. I do videos. I do videos to heal. I have a master's in counseling and I've got an honours degree arts in anthropology. Now, if I do a video on post-traumatic stress disorder, I'm doing it with the aim to help cure or alleviate that. That is a little bit of an issue in itself, because someone with post-traumatic stress disorder, it's an individual traumatic uh, response to a severe trauma. It requires absolutely professional help. So if I do a specific video on post-traumatic stress disorder, I'm giving you the illusion that I can help with a video. I can give you healing videos that help alleviate the situation, help comfort. But post-traumatic stress disorder requires a qualified professional. And if I say I can do it via video, I'm being unprofessional and incompetent. So I can do videos that help that process, but it's unprofessional for me to do a video, let's say, on addictions or chronic depression or post-traumatic stress disorder or sexual abuse. I can provide supportive therapy, but with severe trauma, the trunk of the tree of healing must be professional support. I can support and be a branch in that tree. If I pretend or say I can cure or support through a video, I'm not doing the right thing by you. All right, okay, so keep asking that question. Thank you so much. Any questions on mic? With the phone, when your questions come up, they come up for a second and I can barely read them before they're gone. So just so you know, panic attacks. I can talk about panic attacks. Again, when I talk about panic attacks, if I say I can help someone with panic attacks, a panic attack is the body's stress response saying, help me. The body is trying to keep itself safe. So if I tell you I can cure a panic attack through a video, I'm being really professionally incompetent. I can support. Now, I am a counsellor, so you can come and sit in my studio and I can talk to you about it. But if I do a video to thousands of people and one of you have been raped or sexually abused or suffered some terrible illness or loss, I could be making it worse by what I say. I have to know who you are. So I can talk about comfort and I can talk about being okay and I can talk about loss. But the severe chronic issues, I'm not doing the right thing by you. Yeah, it's, yeah, thank you. ASMR, all right. The question of ASMR, let's stick with that question for a moment. I've stopped doing pure classic ASMR. My children, all 4 of them, were being bullied and bullied severely. There are ASMR elements in everything I do. I will do more role plays where I am a counsellor, a pretend counsellor, because unless you're with me, it's not real counselling. Or I can talk to you as in a role play about eating or a role play about similar things, but I'll be my true self. I will not whisper, and I whisper a little bit in some of my meditations because I'm not going to do that to my children. A lot of you understand ASMR, but this is a public video and there's a lot that don't, and some of the kids at my children's schools don't get it. So I'm not going to do that to my children. For a while I thought I would. Hypnosis. A hypnosis is something that can only be done one-on-one with the person in front of you. So again, that is an area that we have to be very careful about with videos. Videos, or the creating of video through the medium, is about comfort, is about support, is about alleviating pain. But unless you are in front of me one-on-one, we each, as content creators, need to be careful, because we don't know what care you actually need, and we must not overstep our boundaries. ASMR is autonomous sensory meridian response, where you use a variety of methods in order to respond to a person's triggers, in order to make them feel comfort. Whispering is one of the mediums used commonly with ASMR. So you actually whisper to the camera and you're basically pretending the person is right in front of you. We're talking about death here, how to help somebody after someone else has died. I've had, so we're talking about death. I've had several people very close to me die, and it depends on the individual situation. We all cope with death differently. When I've had someone very, very close to me die, I wanted people to not skirt the issue or avoid the issue or pretend it didn't occur. When this person died very close to me, people would leave food at the door and leave and say, I don't want to bother you, so I'm just leaving food for you, which was very kind. I wanted people to ask me about this person. I wanted people to ask me how they died. And I wanted to describe the intimate details of how this person died. The details were unpleasant, horrific, traumatic. I wanted to say the words, because once I said the words, I identified this person in the morgue. I touched the dead body. I hugged and kissed the dead body. I held on to the dead body and noticed how cold. And I remember thinking, I just want to warm him up. He's cold. Now, we are alive as humans, and we operate on a plane where we often try to avoid the concept of death. We all die, and I think that the greatest pathway to happiness is to accept that we are going to die. I wanted people to ask me about his death. I wanted to talk about how I felt at the time of his death and how I felt seeing his body and how I felt about that process. I wanted someone to listen. And most people said, I'm sure you don't want to talk about it. Do you want some food? They were loving people. I found with the passing of time that the pain increased, because you'd feel dramatically sad, and then after a few weeks I kind of thought he'd come back. I know that sounds kind of irrational, but I don't think our brains or our minds are equipped to cope with finality. That's it. In this mortal life, he's never coming back. And after weeks of grieving, I think the ceremonies are really important, the rituals. I just thought, he's gone. So I would speak to him. I would write to him. I would go to places that reminded me of him. I would wear his clothes. His clothes are hung up in the indoor robe, and I've given my children some of his clothes. And I would think of stories about him, and happy stories. The pain never disappears, but you can learn from the pain, and the pain can be an opportunity. Death is a process. Getting over death is a process. And I don't think the door ever shuts. I don't think you ever get over it. I think the concept of getting over something is almost a sitcom where you walk off set. You don't walk off the set when someone dies. You evolve as a person. You remember their soul kindly, and you allow their passing to have meaning. What can you bring to the world? as a response to their passing. I'm sorry for all of you who have lost people. You know that if my children walk in, I'm going to say hello to them and keep streaming. I have had, my father is very unwell. As you know, he has a movement illness. Now, I can see you're all talking to each other. This is really important to support each other through this and to comfort each other. The comfort and camaraderie following a passing is integral to the mourning process. And as humans, one of the things we do with mourning is we have funerals and ceremonies, and we get together as a family and remember. And thank you. I haven't built this community, you've built yourselves. Someone is thanking me for building this community. You did it yourselves, guys, and you are the reason I am who I am. I have evolved most definitely through this community. Thank you. My father is enjoying the end of his life, and he eats a lot of sushi. And I say to Dad, he's in a lot of pain. Are you happy? And he said, yes, I have your mother, I have the garden to look at, and I eat sushi. So he is happy. So brave, because I don't know how he can manage that level of pain, but happy. Thank you for your compliments about this community, and thank you for liking my glasses. I can't look at the screen without them because I'm older. We've just been talking about death. Now, if you just joined us, I think it's really important to talk about death and death is just the end of this mortality, not the end. We do not die. We never die. Our energy never ends, and we choose how that energy passes through to its next existence. We choose through our level of self-realization. And the less we are consumed by needing to collect, needing to consume, and needing to belong to society, the smoother our pathway to self-realization. You are so funny. Yes, Tam, there's a real positive in talking about death. Now, there's a quote which, if I wasn't live streaming, I'd remember, but there's a quote, perhaps it's the Dalai Lama, it may not be, that says our only pathway to happiness is accepting death. Because when we truly accept death, then we are truly able to be in the moment and explore beingness right now. Iris, we definitely continue. We are absolutely incapable of death. And I believe through enlightenment, we choose how our awareness, because that's the only thing we have which is real is our awareness. Nothing else is real. We choose the process of maintaining that awareness following death. Tam, remind me of that quote when you get it, because I really like it. Live streams are funny because it's a matter of, I think of something to say and then I look at the comments and they're only a second, so I've got to really concentrate. David, our body is a vehicle and it houses our mind and soul. Now, we know that we can get such things as brain damage and things like that, which affects our awareness. But our awareness still exists in spite of that. Yes, I think that it's realistic to accept that we all fear death. And I think it is vital that we accept our animal side together with our enlightened side. We are animals. We can't get away from that. Animals like to eat. Animals like to have physical intimacy as a general rule. Animals need to belong because we're a herd animal. Animals feel pain. Animals are motivated by a level of adrenaline. Thank you. So, yes, we fear loss. There's a comment here about not fearing death, but fearing losing others. Yes, in my life, I've lost a lot of people to death, and I really miss them. And I've been to many Buddhist talks when they say, reduce your attachment, and I struggle to do that. I'm a pretty attached kind of person. I just love the people in my life, and I get attached to people I don't even know. Like I'm attached to Sharon, who is somebody that an Indigenous woman who paints at one of the grocery stores I go to. Yes, I believe that everything is connected. This one person who I loved very much who died, he always said to me that everything is connected and there is a cycle that never ends. He studied philosophy and he had a lot of interesting things to say. And he was quite enlightened in many ways. I'm so sorry your grandma died. Unconditional love, that is an issue I would like to speak about. I think that we are here and we are here to express unconditional love. But I think it's important to be aware that part of unconditional love, no conditions, is we are part of that cycle. We must express love for ourselves as part of the unconditional cycle. For example, if someone treats you badly, they disrespect you, they are dishonest, ongoing, there is a point where the love for yourself usurps the requirement to take care of that person. Now, there are so many exceptions to that, and I need to know the individual situation there. But you are no good to anyone else, and you are no good to the community if you self-sacrifice for somebody that disrespects you. And you know there are deal breakers as well. So these need to be considered. It has to, for your Flora, it has to start with ourselves. We have one purpose in life. Our purpose is to help others and to create meaning for others. We're not going to create that meaning if we allow someone to treat us badly. Now, by staying in that relationship, we are allowing ourselves to be treated badly. I've been in toxic relationships. I'm sure a lot of you have been. It is an opportunity to learn, but I think that we also need to have compassion for others who struggle to leave or struggle to self-analyze or self-unpack. I think compassion is really vital there rather than us saying, you should walk away. We are not in that situation. We don't understand that situation. Compassion and a gentle stepping forward is so important. Yeah, Kristen, I hear you. We're talking about leaving toxic relationships. I have stayed in toxic relationships at times. I have a fairly deep belief that loyalty and commitment is important, and at times that desire to be committed has overwhelmed or usurped my logic that that relationship has involved deal breakers and I'm better off to others if I leave. Remember, we're animals, and as animals we become attached, and that becomes a hormonal attachment where it's actually difficult to leave. Now, we have that hormonal attachment because we're herd animals. We're supposed to be attached to the herd. We're supposed to form relationships where we're hormonally attached in order to keep the herd safe. We couldn't have the herd just wandering off in different directions. So when we've been with someone for a long time, it is hard to break that attachment for good reason. It is there as an evolutionary device to keep our herd safe, so we're not wandering off. But sometimes it doesn't serve us because we're with a toxic person. We have a routine with that toxic person, or they've got toxic behavior. So I wouldn't label someone with one word like toxic. They've done a number of things that are destructive, and then there may be a destructive cycle. It's not easy to leave, but it is necessary to leave. It is necessary so we can be the best version of ourselves for others. We're talking about putting away all our bad thoughts so that we can be the best version of ourselves. It's difficult to put away bad thoughts. You might have an experience in the street where someone shouts at you, you may have someone dishonest, you may have someone judge you, and it's natural to carry these thoughts because it's part of our evolutionary selves to learn what is safe and what is not safe. So our mind unpacks stories that we experience in order to learn from them, to learn, avoid, or attach, to learn to avoid this situation to keep us safe. So our minds think and overthink. We are able to remember negative experiences differently if we train ourselves. Now, I sound a little bit high and mighty there. I struggle with it too. If a relationship has been, for want of a better word, because I don't like to label things, but if it has had elements of toxicity, you can look back and say, that person, that relationship taught me to be more resilient. That relationship taught me to be stronger. That relationship taught me to grow in wisdom. That relationship motivated me to go back to school. That relationship made me a little bit more of a softer soul. I would not have moved. I would not have done this course. I would not have made these friends if it wasn't for that relationship. And remember the relationship differently. And perhaps there's things you enjoyed in that relationship. Perhaps there was a song or a restaurant situation or something that is a pleasant memory. You don't have to wipe all the memories. I don't know what's happened to the screen there. The screen has suddenly stopped. So I can't see you. I don't know if you can see me. Can you still see me? Because I don't know if I can't see you on my screen. You can't see me, no. I don't know what's happened. Can you hear me? Thank you. I don't know why my phone has done this. It must be a YouTube thing. But if you can hear me, will I just keep speaking? Because while we're here, all right, so the screen's being silly with little stripes, but you can hear me. So do we really need to see when we can hear? Now, I've been talking for 32 minutes, so maybe I'll stop soon. Do you have any questions you want to ask me before I stop this video? Because obviously the screen issue might continue. At the moment, I'm trauma. I have the children home for the holidays, so it's a little bit more difficult. I'm uploading a lot more from what I feel like doing then and there. Someone as Max has just talked about fear of failure. I fear failing. I fear failing others. It's important that your fear of failure does not stop you living. You have a role in life. One role is to create meaning for others. If your fear of failure stops you contributing to others, then it does not serve you. We have fear, and we have fear of failure because we're animals. And as animals, we need to stay alive. And as animals, we need to maintain our membership to the herd. So our fear of failure, our fear in itself, keeps us alive. And that's why we have it. It has a purpose, but don't allow that purpose to stop you being who you are. Now, I think I'm going to finish this live stream. I may do one again later. I may try this again in a couple of hours because of the screen. Yes, we're talking about intimacy now. There's so many things here I can see I'd like to talk about more about intimacy between people, but I think we might finish it there. I'd like you to do something for me, please. I'd like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share my videos, comment and follow me on Spotify and Instagram. I'm trying to build a strong following so I know what you want. Please do this because statistics on or analytics on YouTube show me that only about 8% of you subscribe. I know, I can see the same thing you can. I don't know why, but you can hear me. So I might live stream again today. Please, oh, Jerome, thank you. Please tell me what you want. I'm trying very hard to respond to letters, and I'm going to try harder to respond to letters. I'd like to do regular live streams. They may lack in professionalism, but I want to do them. They may have pink stripes. I'm going to do them anyway. Jenny, I am so grateful. Instagram, you just follow. Spotify, you follow. But Tam, if you can't, that's really no issue. It's the subscribing on YouTube, sharing my videos, and commenting and viewing is really important. Why? I now support my children with, oh my God, Max! I now support my children with YouTube. And so I'd like to provide content that's relevant to you. You can't see, I'm really laughing here. You can't see. Is meditative videos part of ego? We cannot separate ego from the enlightened self in our mortal life. We just can't. We need to monitor our ego and accept our ego. Ego is part of the animal. We are animals. I feel somewhat, okay, my animal feels irritated when people say that we can distance ourselves from the animal. We are animals. We've got skin. We want to eat food. We love ice cream and chocolate. This is animal stuff. We love intimacy. We love to touch people that we're close to. That's animal stuff. It's not going to stop while we're alive and mortal, but we can monitor it. We can look down upon it, and we can see where it serves us and where it serves the community. I'm going to probably live stream again in a couple of hours. I'm sure this won't happen next time. I love you all very, very much. I will do this live stream again in a few hours. Please subscribe. Please follow on Spotify. Please comment. I love you all, and I'm so grateful because you all support me and my kids, and you have created a community yourself for all of us. We all benefit. Okay, I'll come back on again later. And I love you, Susan. Sadie, that's a really good question. I'll answer that. I'm going to go now because we've got the pink stripe thing happening. And I'll talk to you later.